Hello guys and welcome. This video is created for my graphic design 111 class, which is an FCC. We are in Illustrator, and the project is to create a stationery package. So if other of you are viewing, this is a beginner Illustrator class, so we're really pretty much at the beginning. So if you're advanced, this is probably not the video for you. All right, so first thing we're gonna do, and of course you're gonna hear me refer to my class a lot because, like I said, this video is actually created for that. So the first thing we're gonna do is Illustrator's open. Now also I want to point out that this is Illustrator, the latest version. In class we're using an earlier version of Illustrator, but a lot of you who are working at home will be using this version as well. However, if not, I'm going to try to stick as close to the version we had in class as possible. So I'm going to choose Create New. You guys know that our intent for this is print. We've already went over all of these, but all this means is this area is what is your intention for Illustrator. All right, the first project that we're going to create is our logo. So I'm just going to name this one Stationery Project. And I'm going to spell project correctly because, you know, it's just what we do. All right, so Stationery Project. I'm going to say live. And the if we're looking at what the requirements of the project were, I'm going to move this to inches. And I'm going to say 3 because the first thing we're going to create is the logo by 3. Down here we have advanced options. If we wanted to set a bleed, which is that area that extends beyond the logo, we can. Typically you'll call your printer and ask your printer what settings they are, and they'll either be like 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch, or so forth and so on. However, I'm just going to keep these as is. I don't think I have a bleed in mind right now. And unless you're sending yours to a printer who is going to print with a bleed, we're just going to leave it right here for now. But that is very important when you guys progress in like graphics 2, graphic 3. It will be really, really important that you're using these settings. But I don't think we're going to have a bleed on ours right now. So if we go further down, the color mode, CMYK, resolution at 300 ppi, that's good. You do have more settings. If you click on this, a dialog box is going to open. This dialog box is going to, it looks like the classic dialog box we used to have in the previous versions of Illustrator, but pretty much it allows you to control the artboards, and it allows you to control the template, or to choose a template, which we're not going to do. We know, though, doing this project, since it's a stationery project, that we're going to have multiple artboards, way more than one. However, since in class I taught you this way, I'm just going to stick with this way in the video as well. However, just know that you can add artboards. We talked about that a little bit as well. You can also control how the artboards are set up, and maybe we'll do another video for that. But for now, let's just go ahead and create the document. And so now we have our document, and the first thing that we're going to create is our logo. Okay, so in class we did an ice cream shop. I said I was going to do something different. I might do like, let's say we're I always like to go off the cusp, but maybe that wasn't a good idea because now I can't think of what I want to do a logo for. A candy company. Yes, we're going to be a candy company. So, and our target audience with candy, of course, are those who like sweets. But for this one, and it's so funny, I love doing stuff that targets children, but I don't want to target children with candy, but we're probably going to target children. All right, so I don't want to round it. I don't want a regular rectangle, so I'm going to go to the shape tool. On the shape tool, you know that if you see that little triangle on the bottom right of the tool, that means that there are more options. So I'm just holding my mouse down, and as I hold the mouse down, it shows us these options. So I'm going to choose rounded rectangle tool. And with the rounded rectangle tool, I'm going to go ahead and draw this out. See. So now I'm drawing it out, and let me see. And if you use your up and down arrows, you can control how rounded this gets. Now, do I want it that rounded? you know, just a little bit. So now I went back to the beginning, which is the down arrow, and now I'm able to round this out some. So I'm going to say that looks good to me. All right, so I'm going to do a candy company. I'm going to probably want this rotated. You know, I like rotating. I did that with the ice cream cone as well. So I'm going to hover my mouse over to one of the corners. And when I hover it over, if I go close enough, I get the dual-sided curved arrow. And at that point, I can kind of, if I hold shift, it'll constrain it. Or I don't have to hold shift, and I can just have control over how this. So I'm going to hold shift. Okay, and I'm going to bring this down here. So it's a candy company. What type of candy company you say? I don't know. I kind of just go with the flow. Now, we controlled it in the beginning by pretty much using our up and down arrows. However, you can actually, you see these dials that are here with this rounded rectangle? You can actually control the curve with those as well. So if I go here and I start moving it in, you'll see that I'm controlling how this curves as well. So I'm just going to I'm happy with it like that. But I just wanted to point that out to you. You can grab any of the corners and have still control. So I kind of like this. This is going to be like my, maybe my candy bar. And then maybe we'll say that this is in squares. Ooh, we could do that. Maybe we want like this square off of, I don't know. You know what? I'm thinking out loud already. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put this in place. Let's just say I want it like maybe right here. So I'm just grabbing it and moving it. Okay, and then I'm going to, I have so many ideas right now. So I'm going to select this and I'm going to fill it. So I'm going to go over here to fill and I'm going to grab like maybe a color for my candy bar. I don't want it to, see, I love colorful things. And so I put myself in a corner because I can't really color a candy bar because typically they're chocolate unless I go with white chocolate, but you don't want to go blue because you know then the dye in the blue is going to be horrible. And you don't want to go red because red dye just tastes nasty. Oh my gosh. All right. So I'm going to go with this lighter brown. Maybe I'll go with like, it's a milk chocolate candy bar. Yeah. That's what it is. It's a milk chocolate candy bar. And it's going to be in, you know, bite-sized pieces as well. But maybe, remember what we played with in class was we played with some graphic styles. So I'm going to push that in. I'm going to go up to Window. And now there's some things that are on the bottom that you guys can't see. All right. Well, we're in Window. And what you're going to want to do, let me see if I can, hang on. Let's see. All right, never mind. I'm going to go back to Windows. So if you scroll all the way down, now it's going to be off of my screen. You're not going to be able to see it. But if you scroll all the way down toward the bottom, you're going to see, oh, as a matter of fact, no, we don't need that yet. Sorry. Never mind. We're going to go Window and Graphic Styles. Now we have these graphic styles, and we can actually do what I wanted to do without having to worry about that. I forgot. Okay. So we have graphic styles. And so, you know, we're limited. If we choose either of these, none of these are doing what we want them to do. Because the candy bar, unless we're doing a candy bar for a surfing company or something like that, I don't know. All right. But anyway, we have this flyout menu, right? And inside the flyout menu, you have open graphic styles menu, library. See that? So the flyout menu, right? This is the flyout menu. In this case, I did that super fast. See, it has the list. Anytime you see that little list icon, that's telling you, hey, there are more options available. So you go from that list icon and you go down to Open Graphic Style Library. And then you have some other styles that you can choose from. Like we have scribble effects. You can get some really, really cool things from scribble effects. That's kind of one of my, I love that feature. We have neon effects, image effects, all sorts of effects. We have artistic effects, and things like that. So, and we also have textures. Now, textures is what we did in class with the ice cream, and we went with one of the textures, and we got some really, really cool things happening from that. I think today I'm going to try artistic effects just to see what type of options we get. Okay, so we have artistic effects, and if we pull this down, we can see them. So we have like this kind of mosaic tissue paper type effect. We have another one. We have watercolor, and see what it does to it. That's kind of cool. I kind of like that. You know what? I'm changing it. I'm changing it. We are no longer doing a candy bar because I didn't want to do candy bar anyway because diabetes and the sugar, and I don't want to target kids. So we're going to do a cell phone. We're going to do a cell phone like maybe case or covers or things like that. I got that idea because this one reminds me of a cell phone case. So, you know, I'm allowed to change my mind. So I'm just going to do that. All right. So we're a cell phone case company. Maybe we personalize their cell phones for them in different styles that match their lifestyle, personality, and stuff like that. Oh, yeah, that's happening. Okay. So we changed the scope. Check that out. Look at all these cool effects we can do for as our cell phone company. So we can look at just the different effects. I kind of like this one. And maybe we'll have different ones like in our logo. I don't know, but I'm pretty excited at the possibilities. Okay, so artistic effects. I'm going to move this over. And now since it's a cell phone company, I'm going to widen this just a little bit. Yeah, just so that I can get it looking like a cell phone. And I'm kind of liking this. I know you're like, oh my gosh, but we have the iPhone Plus, and what if maybe a little longer. All right, so we're a cell phone company, and that's what we're going with. That's our final answer. That's our story. I'm sticking to it. All right, so we're gonna be a cell phone company. That's what we're gonna create, and so maybe we want them to see like the custom cases. In that case, we probably want to make sure that we have some type of stroke that complements our. So right now, as a cell phone company, I'm gonna getting a little cluttered over here, so I'm gonna clean this up just a little bit. I'm gonna put graphic styles in with artistic styles and textures. I'm gonna put that right there. I just docked it. All right, so we're a cell phone company. We're going to grab. I had an idea. You know, I like working off the cusp. So I'm going to target iPhones because I have one right here that I can look at and I know what the case should look like. So that's why I'm targeting our iPhones. You guys can target whatever you want, but iPhone it is for me. So, but because I'm targeting iPhones and I got to do some more stuff to it, I'm actually going to hold shift, hover over the edge, and I'm going to rotate this back straight. And the reason I'm rotating back straight is because I need to put in the little cutout for the iPhone up here. This is going to be for the iPhone XR as I'm targeting right now. And I need to kind of show like the little 3 cutouts that are down here. So, all right, so I have it straight for now. I am going to cant it in my final rendition because that's what I do. All right, so now I have the iPhone. It's set up for us. What I want to do next, I'm really liking that case. I'm wishing I had it. But what I want to do next to it is go ahead and establish my little cutout. So I'm going to go back up here to the rectangle tool, rounded rectangle. I'm going to go up. It's pretty much really close to the top. And I'm going to bring out my, what do you call it? What do we call it? We call it a, I'm going to bring out the eye for the phone. So now I'm going to go to my swatches panel. I'm going to choose black just for now. And I'm going to grab my black arrow. I'm going to click in here and maybe extend that out just a little bit. Yeah, I think that's right. Or it's gonna be right. All right. So now what I want to do, I'm going to select both of these. And you guys know about the shape builder tool because we've been using it. I'm going to try out the shape builder tool. And with this selected, so remember what we do, you have to select it first. So all we're doing is highlighting this, right, to make sure that we have everything selected that we want to affect. We're going to go to our shape builder tool, which is over here. It is the tool that looks like the 2 circles and it's got the arrow. I'm going to click on that. And what I want to do is I want to delete this part. Now we've been typically adding to it. I want to delete. So what I'm going to do is hold my Alt key and then click so that I can delete just this part out. And once I do that, you'll see now I've cut a hole in the phone. Okay, you guys see that? Sweet. All right. So next thing I want to do is I'm going to grab this rounded rectangle tool, and I'm going to make a hole here, but I'm going to extend that hole down because all I'm doing is kind of showing this little edge. I want it to be black, so I'm choosing black. And now I'm going to zoom into that area because, all right, because we want to see. So now mine isn't going to be very accurate because this is for a demo. So I'm going to make this one smaller. And then I'm going to grab this one and put this kind of right here. That in place. Move this one over a little bit. That's how I meant to do. All right. And again, if I wanted to, like, I feel like they're too rounded. So I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to delete these. I like this a little better. Now, of course, I could have just did that on each one. But who's got time for all that? It's a demo. I'm also hoping not to make this video too long because the rendering on YouTube takes forever. All right, so the center one, I'm going to hold Alt and bring that in some. Okay. Now, if I wanted to make sure that they were even spaced, I'm going to select all three, right? And then I'm going to go up to my Properties panel and see how I have the options, of course, to align them center horizontal from the top. I don't see the options that I need, so what I'm going to do is click on this. See where it has the three dots? Those three dots mean, hey, there are more options. I'm going to click on that, and because what I want to do is to distribute. So the top part is about aligning, the middle one is about distributing. I want to distribute the objects, and I want to distribute them based off of their horizontal centers. I click that, and you'll notice that this one moved over some, just so that they are centered. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to click here, select all three. Remember, select it to affect it. So I'm just selecting it. And I'm going to go back to my shape builder tool. And I want to knock out these center areas. So I'm going to hold Alt because what I'm doing is deleting. And I'm going to hold Alt. And I can actually just draw in the areas that I want to go away. Okay? So with those areas, now you'll see that it has done the cutout, right? So now I have this phone. I have, zoom out. And so now I have this phone. This is going to, like I said, represent the iPhone. Maybe I want to have a stroke. Oh, that's right. That's what I was doing earlier. I forget. So maybe I want to have a stroke. So I'm going to go to my stroke panel and I'm going to choose a stroke that kind of complements these. Maybe a yellow stroke might work. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. We'll give it just a little bit of a, whew. Now, here's the deal. I don't like these sharp edges. And you know when we had our cone, we had to work on that earlier too. I'm going to zoom in so you can see the sharp edges I'm talking about. These right here. I don't like how they're so sharp. Looks like a bat. See how these ends are sharp? So I'm going to select the stroke. And what I'm going to do is go over here in my properties panel where it says stroke. I'm going to click. And I'm going to, right here on the corner, because these are corners, right? You guys see that? I don't want it to be a miter join. I want it to be a round join. And when I make it the round join, you see how the sharpness of the edges goes away. And now I have a much happier stroke that I'm happier with. I can live with that. So that I'm happy with. So I have my cell phone. So this cell phone company is specifically for the iPhone 7, but I have all of the cutouts that I need to make this work. So I might just bring this out some. Do I want to do that? Let me see. I might cant this a little bit now that I have it. And I don't know. Remember I told you guys I am playing as we go. So we'll see. We'll see if I like this. Okay. So now I got to think of a jazzy name for a company because we're this cell phone company. So I'm going to grab, let me see. So far we didn't mess with gradients. So I do want to do something where you guys know how to control a gradient if you need to. So what do I want to play off of with the iPhone? Let me look. Maybe Maybe I want to play off of, nothing really jumps out at me. So let me see. We're an iPhone case company. So maybe our name is iCase. Hopefully nobody has that name. All right. So I'm going to get the type tool. And I'm going to type iCase. All right. So our company name is iCase. So all I did was grab the type tool and I started typing. We haven't done anything yet. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a little bit larger so that I can see it. So we're iCase. Let me see. All right, and as you can see, I'm constantly playing around with the layout because I'm not quite sure what I want to do with the layout yet. I'm just playing. So I'm going to say iCase, and then my little slogan, let me see, if you can imagine it, we can build it, or we can create it. So we are a creative iPhone case company. So our slogan is, if you can imagine it, we can create it. Okay. All right. So if you can imagine it, we can create it. iCase. It's so funny because now I'm thinking of iCase, the case for, yeah, but anyway. All right. So if you can imagine it, we can create it. iCase. All right. So I need something else. I need something more. I'm feeling like I need something more. So I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to try to position this. And like I said, the most difficult part for me, sometimes it's the logo, but sometimes it's actually the layout. So notice I'm playing around with this, and I want this kind of to be centered to my artboard, because that's what this white area is, artboard, right? So what I'm going to do is, with the artboard selected, I'm going to go up to my, this is not there. I'm going to go to Window, and I'm going to choose Align, so that I'll have this window. And, it was there. I don't know why I couldn't see it. It was up there. Anyway, I'm going to align this, because I want to align this to the artboard. So I'm going to go right here where it says Align To. I'm going to choose Artboard. And now if I choose the vertical center, or vertical align center, it will align to the artboard as it just did. So that's kind of cool. So instead of me trying to mess around with it, and then of course you see in Align To, you have options. You have Align the Section, Align a Key Object, Align Artboard. So I chose Align Artboard. So that's cool. All right. So now I'm going to play with iCase. I got to play with fonts that I want, and then I got to play with how I want this to be set up. And I kind of have a feeling that I want it to be like this. If you can imagine it, we can create it. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not quite sure of that part yet. But first, I'm going to play with this logo. And I could play around. Let me move this right here. I could play around with gradients here in the type. You know, if I need to. Let me also try. I just want this to align here to see, not necessarily. All right, so now I'm going to grab the ruler. I'm going to hit 0, and I can either go to View, I can go down to Rulers, and then I can go to Show Rulers, or I can hit Command R, which is typically what I do, is hit Command R. What I want to do is I want to align my type at the top with the top of this iPhone. So I'm going to zoom in real quick and see if I can get this right on top. Okay, there we go. All right, so I just drew out a guide. So I aligned it to the top, and I went into the rulers, clicked, and just pulled out a guide. And that's all you have to do is pull that out. All right, so I want, now it's no point in me setting it up now because I might have to move it depending on what font I find. All right, so typically I'm going to choose through character. You guys know that in class, okay, you can't see that. So hang on, let me grab Window, type. You can't see it on screen, but it's there, Window type character. And that's all I'm doing is grabbing the character menu. Okay, so you guys remember in class, we're not able to pick different fonts from the cloud, but at home we can. So I'm just going to try to find a font that I actually like to work with here. I actually saw one that I like, but we'll see. For eye case, and remember I said I pretty much try to close my eyes to figure out if I feel that font when I say that, when I say eye case. And what eye case is, like I said, it's a very creative company where we can we build custom cases for people. So I hope this company name isn't there, but I have a feeling that everything was I, so eye case is probably already taken. But anyway, this is just for, but if it's taken, we'll choose. I didn't know, so there you go. I mean, I don't know that it is taken. I just can't imagine it not be, because the whole I thing was so big. It was I this, I that. So anyway, so I'll try to look through like my fonts, see if I see a font, and we can actually just the arrows and go through the fonts, but I'm just doing it this way, just to see if I see a case that works or a font that works. You kind of want something creative, but you don't want it to overshadow. So, but you also want something that might be able to stand on its own. So anyway, I have a feeling that we're going to be going to Typekit, so because I don't see the font that I want here. Okay, but if you're at home, then you can actually go to Typekit to get your font. I was going to try to stay here. So, you know what? Let me be limited. Let's just suppose I can't go to Typekit. So now I got to choose a font that's here that works. Let me just give myself that challenge. iCase. Nope. I do want a font that's bold. I do want one that I can, oh, you hear my grandbaby. Oh, he wants his grandma. I already know. You know what? I'm just going to go with this font for now. All right. So I have iCase. This font is the font, let's just say, of choice. So what I'm going to do, one thing I don't like is the way the I is separated from the C. Typically, that's probably because a lowercase I is not used to being next to an uppercase I, but this gives me an opportunity to go over tracking and kerning. So we're going to kern between these two letters. You guys already know what that is. We're going to kern between these two letters. So I'm going to put my cursor right in between. I'm holding Option or Alt and the right arrow. So if you're on a PC, it's going to be Option. It's going to be Alt. I think it's Alt on the PC. Yeah. Alt and then your right arrow. And because all I wanted to do was pull that I closer to that C in case. So now, with that being done, I can move this up to where I wanted it to be. I can also increase the size of this. If I'm kind of decorating in this area for my logo. Okay, so I got iCase. This is how I want it. And now what I need to do is find a font that's kind of going to work with, and I want this to be lowercase because it just goes with the whole thing. So if you can imagine it, we can create it. And at first I didn't know if I wanted a dot, like to separate the two, or if I wanted a dash to separate the two. I don't know. But right now I'm going to figure out which font I actually want to use for these. It's definitely not Myriad Pro. I like that one. I want something that says, I almost want like a thin, delicate. I don't want that. I don't feel like that says that. Let's see. I like you going through this process with me. I miss you guys in the classroom because you would be going through this process with me. Oh, I'm not against this one. Bahas. The only thing is, I wouldn't use this font for a body font. And so already in my design, I have my my decorative font, which is iCase. Then I have this font, and typically I'll keep this font the same as the body font so that I'm not using so many fonts. Now, if you have to go to 3 fonts, it's fine too. I just don't like overkill, but we'll see though. I kind of like this one, so Bahas, I'm gonna keep in mind. Let's see if I see something else. I tell you, you can imagine that goes in. All right, I'm probably gonna use Bauhaus because I'm probably not even saying it right. This is one of my other favorite fonts. Light. I think I'm gonna go with this one. Which one do I like better? I like Franklin Gothic too. That's a nice font. I think I want this one. I don't know. Oh my gosh, decisions. Decisions, I'm gonna go with this one. All right. So with this one, if you can imagine it, we can create it. Let me see. I might want it a little smaller. Let me see. Bring it out. Kind of want it a little lighter. So what I'm gonna do, I am gonna use this font, but I'm going to play with colors now. So, oops, I didn't mean to bring that off where you guys can't see it. Okay, I'm gonna play with colors, and that's how I'm going to get my difference. I'm gonna see if orange, if you can imagine it, and then we can create it. So I'm just pretty much like that one a little better. Move that out the way. Move that out the way. I think I like that one for both. If you can imagine it, we can create it. All right, and then for eye case, I want a gradient in here. So I'm gonna go to my gradient tool. I'm gonna select the gradient. So with eye case selected, I'm gonna click on the gradient itself. And now notice now notice that the gradient didn't take effect on my type. And we should, I think in the previous version, I think we were able to use gradients for type. I'm not quite sure yet, but just in case you're not, here's what I'll do. I did show you guys how to create outlines for a different purpose, but I can't remember if all versions you were able to put a gradient on type. So just in case we're not, I'm going to select the type. Now I'm going to create an outline, but I like to have a safety feature because if we go back later and we decide we want to change the name of our company or anything for whatever reason, I like to have a safety net to go back to. So I'm going to go into our layers panel, right? Our layers panel. I'm going to open up the layers panel and I'm going to go down to where it says iCase. I'm going to click on the radio dial where it says iCase and I'm going to duplicate this one. So I'm going to grab it, grab it and drag it down to the new layer icon. I'm going to select the one that I just created, lock it, and then hide it. Okay. This way, like I said, if I need to go back, I'll have the font because once we change this into outlines, we will no longer be able to make changes to it. So I'm going to select this. And now I'm going to go up to type and I'm going to go down to create outlines. And at that point, this is no longer editable text. It has become outlines. And if we look in here, you'll see that it's grouped and it is outlines. Okay. So now what I want to do is now when I click on the gradient, you'll see that it does change into a gradient. All right. So now I have options in the gradient panel. I can choose a different style for the gradient. I can choose a different style for the gradient. This is more linear, radio, and then this is the freeform gradient, which I don't think is in the version we have in the class. So we're not going to talk about freeform gradient. So we're just going to choose either the linear gradient. So if you don't see this box, it is okay. Do not worry. Do not worry. All we're worried about is the gradient. So we can choose linear or we can choose radio. And once we choose whatever gradient we choose, we can go up to the, I'm running out of space. Hang on. Let me put this in here. I'm going to put the swatches. Well, no, actually I need the swatches. Okay. So now we can actually choose the colors that we want. So if you wanted, if you're like, oh, you know, I kind of want this to go here, and I want this to go here, or I want a different color, you can do that. You can even set up how you want this to be. You're just not limited. You can actually put the colors that you want. Let's see, I put this at 50%. Hang on. You can also choose the colors that you want in here if you want. Let's see, you can, let me go for, I think I want that reddish color. Maybe I don't though. Let me see. I don't know. I kind of want to stick with the same color, so I'll just stick with these colors as is. Yeah. All right, but you can play. If you wanted to add blue in there, you can. You don't have to do what I do. I'm not bossy you. If you want to add red in there, you can. If you want to have some craziness, you can. But I'm kind of happy how this one is, so I'm just gonna stick with that, and I'm not gonna worry. I'm gonna be happy. All right, let me see. Let me look at that. Let's look at how that looks. I kind of like it. I kind of don't. I'm so picky. We'll see. Hang on. Let me go back to gradient. And I want to tone down this a little bit. I just don't like how hard that yellow is coming. Well, how hard that yellow is coming in. Just look like that. And then I want more. Let's see. Yeah. I almost, okay, oh yeah, that's another thing too. If you wanted to add a color, let's say I wanted a color that was in between this orange, yellow and orange, I can click right below it and it'll give me that color, and I can use that color to soften wherever I need it to soften, or to even add additional color, you know, wherever I felt like it needed to be added. Just so you know, that's for kicks and giggles. And if I wanted, I'm kind of not liking how strong that red is. Let me see. There we go. I think I just didn't like how strong that red was. So strong. How bold that red was. I kind of like this a little bit better. Let me see. Yeah. All right. So I do like this. So what I'm gonna do now is watch this. Let me see something funky. Hang on. If it does it, let me see. Which color? Did it do it? Let's see. All the colors are behind it, so it's not gonna do it. But anyway, let me choose lighter orange. Let's see. Yeah. All right. So if I had this, I can also further play with the shape builder and like combine certain parts of the letters, you know, like that. Because what was happening was I wasn't liking the overlap, the way that they were overlapping. And so I can combine certain parts of the letters like this. And then for this one, I would probably move that S. Now, if that happened too fast, let me undo so I can show you what I'm talking about. Oops. All right. So what was happening was I wasn't liking how the interaction right here of this I, see how the I, there's that harsh stroke, and then with the A, there's that harsh stroke. I wasn't liking that, so I wanted to combine, change the way that they're interacting with the way that this I overlaps here, that interaction. So what I'm doing is I'm grabbing the shape builder tool, and I'm just drawing between the two to combine them. See how now they're combined? And then the same here with this. I combine it and see how it combines. I kind of like that. And this one combines too, but what happens is the A is over the S, so in the layers panel, I just need to make that change for that. So I'm gonna hit OK, and then I'm gonna go into the layers panel, and where this is grouped, I'm gonna find that S, and I'm gonna put the S under. Wait, is that my S? Ah, I know what I did. Hang on, let me undo real quick. Back to a time when they were happy. All right. I'm gonna put the S over. Where is my C? Oh, that's E. Hang on. This is why we label our stuff. S. Okay. So I'm gonna undo. Okay. So now I'm gonna put the S underneath the C, and now hide the C. I believe it's on the S. Hang on. So I'm gonna hide the C. I'm gonna look at the S. Let me zoom in so I can see what's happening. All right. Maybe I need one more. All right. Here we go. Now we should be back to where we were. All right. So now I'm gonna hold the S. I had to undo a couple of times because of the using the shape builder tool in the beginning. I actually made that a part of the shape, and so weirdness was happening. But we'll see what happens now. All right. So now I'm gonna grab shape builder. I'm gonna see how. Oops. Now I'm gonna grab the black arrow, select both of these, grab the shape builder tool, and now see if I can change that interaction. There we go. All right, so now if I zoom out, oops, let's see. There we go. I like how that's looking, much better. So for my eye case, I'm thinking I want the stroke maybe to be a little darker, so we'll see. Maybe like maybe to introduce another color so that it's not just orange and red orange and like the yellow. Maybe I want to introduce another color, like maybe green kind of goes with that, or let's see, another color. Yellow's already a color, so let me see. Boom, boom, boom. Purple, maybe gray. I remember in class I was given a challenge to do gray and orange. I'm cool with that. And then I might make this that same gray. What? Not a stroke. Yeah. And then maybe, yeah, I know how I am about these little, that's probably not the color I'm going to use, but I'm going to play with this for a second. All right, so I'm going to add some circles because I like them. They're like my favorite thing to design. All right, so I'm going to add this. I'm going to duplicate, and I'm going to duplicate, and I'm going to duplicate. All right, so I'm going to add this one. Oops. This one. Might position this. Might position this one. And you guys know, all I have to do is position one. All I have to do is position the left one and the far right one. And I can select them all. And then I can distribute them. So I'm going to go with them selected, I'm going to go click on the drop down, and I want to distribute them center. Now, here's what happened. It distributed them center. It did exactly what I told it to do. But the issue is I didn't tell it to do something. So I'm going to hit undo. And what I'm going to do now is when I go to my align panel and I go to more options, I'm going to go down here where it says align to. And I need to tell it to align to the selection, which is the first one. I know part of it is off the screen. I apologize. I need to align to selection. Now with it saying align to selection, when I hit distribute, now it'll give me an even distribution. So I'm kind of glad it did that, because if this happens to you guys, you'll know what the issue is. All right. So I have my eye case. If you can imagine it. We can create it. Not quite sure of these colors yet, but for now, I'm going to let it go. So I'm going to go up to, hang on. I'm actually going to go off screen for a second. Let's see. Oh, nope, I'm good. Okay. And I'm still playing around with the colors. This, like I said, the hardest part pretty much is always the logo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this flyout menu. And I think I did grab some colors, didn't I? I grabbed some colors earlier. Let me see where they are. It should be... I do so many videos. I'm hoping this is the video where I grab the colors, but I might not have. Okay, it might not have been this video. I don't know. Y'all know my memory. But anyway, I'm going to swatches. I'm going to go to Open Swatch Library, and I'm going to choose Kids Stuff. And it's going to give me a panel. I did open it here, I think. All right, so I want to change the colors. I want to change the colors for eye case and the colors that I go for in my gradient as well. So I'm going to go and let's just say, as a matter of fact, let me select all of these. And let me go into Color Guide, which we haven't gone into before, I know. So this is going to be your first time playing with this panel. But this is the Color Guide panel. And the cool thing about this one is I can pick a different set of colors. So I'm going to say, right now, let's say I have this set right here. And let's say I choose, I'm actually going to choose, hang on. What's I want? I want more of a complementary style. I like left complementary. And maybe I'll choose a 10. And notice how I chose a 10 and it pretty much changed my color panel based off of the tint that I chose. You guys see that? If I choose green, it's changing everything to kind of like this green tint as well. If I choose a lighter green, it just changes based off of, and it just looks at everything that you have, and it just changes, the colors based off of that. If I choose this blue, it's going to change my colors to represent this color guide. So if you're one of those people who aren't good with colors, this is probably going to be like a really, really good friend for you to go in and decide on like another color theme. Maybe I'll go with this. Kind of like this theme too. These purples. It's going to change it to the purples. So you have options of playing with different colors in here. Now, I'm not necessarily a fan of these. I probably shouldn't have selected them all at once. So I'm just going to undo my way right on out of here. But I just want you to know that you do have other options. But I am going to change my color scheme probably from the orange to something different. Let me see. So if I click on this, this one right now has like 1, 2, I think it has like 3 different colors maybe. So let's see. Maybe high contrast. With that being the main color. Pentagram's kind of cool. you know? So you do have options that you can play with. You can play with different colors and see what type of scheme do you like goes better with your phone case. I like the orange case, so I'm going to go back to that one. I just maybe want to change this scheme, maybe. Let's see. To go with something more. Go maybe with this scheme. I don't know. I don't really know what's gonna work yet. I just know that I'm not feeling that one. So I'm just trying to play with colors to see what color I actually like. Eh, yeah. But anyway, you have these options. You can also change like the different tints of the colors that you choose. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool there for you. Um, I'm gonna go with probably a solid. I think maybe the gradient was just too much for me. um, so I'm probably gonna go with a solid, and then I'm probably gonna go with the stroke being like maybe that yellow or darker yellow. I like that better actually. I just think the stroke was too powerful for me. All right, let me. I mean the color was too powerful for me. So I like this orange, and then maybe, just maybe, I'll take this gradient right here and build a swatch from each color. That's how we'll do this. I'm gonna click here, see if that color is in here. That's for the gradient swatch. Hit OK. Okay, and then maybe I will, oops. There it is. It is showing up. I'm just not seeing it. Okay, because it's off of my screen. Got it. Okay, I'm gonna click here. CMYK. Okay. Here. There we go. Yeah, I think I like the, ooh, I didn't realize I was changing color. That's why I wasn't showing up. Okay, makes sense. Boom. Undo, undo, undo. There we go. All right. So I'm going to take these and just change the color of these to these. Of course, I don't want any strokes. So I'm going to take this one, change maybe the color to that yellow. There. Take this one. Maybe choose a lighter orange. Choose that one. Make sure I have the fill activated and change that color to red, orange, yellow, some in between. So I got this one, that, this one, we'll make that, this one, we'll make that, and this one, we'll make that. There we go. This one will change to that, or that, or that. You can imagine it. We can create it. So I might make. You can imagine it. Lighter. We can create it. All right. That's a whole lot of orange, but that's okay. And I'm going to shrink this up a little bit. Okay. The goal was to give me something I can play with. You can imagine it. We can create it. And I think I want to play off of this. Maybe this. Get rid of this one. And then maybe this. This one. This. And this one. So Control G. Control G. Control G. So I want to make sure they align. Distribute that way. I'm going to go center with this. Typically you don't do center layout. I'm going to go center with this. I want to make sure that these are grouped. And now what I want is I want this to be grouped. And I want this to align with this. So I'm going to zoom in a minute. Zoom in. 0. And I want this one to align here. And now I'm going to select all 3 of these. And I'm going to distribute them this way. So that now everything pretty much, I do all of them, right, is grouped. This is grouped. This is grouped. This is grouped. This is grouped. And so we have IKs. And then we have the little accent bars, these. But what I'm going to do with these, I'm going to ungroup them for a second. Just these 3. And I'm going to choose the blend. Remember we did blends. So I'm going to blend this one to this one to this one to this one. And I'm going to have like a little, right? So I have a little blend here. And then I thought about blending these and making like some type of cool, we'll see. Let me see. Nothing wrong with experimenting. It might not work, but you know, if it does, awesome. Right? So let's see what that looks like. That's kind of cool. Kind of cool. Totally not expected, but very freaking cool. All right. So I'm going to go with that because I kind of like it. I kind of like how it's blending from the one to the other. So look, that was an accident. I totally wasn't expecting to do that. So you definitely want to play. But now what I have, which is kind of cool, is I have little accents that I can use throughout my design for this. So what I'm going to do now is very important. I want to make swatches, and I want to make a swatch group. So I'm going to make a swatch. I'm going to call this eye case. Right, and I'm going to go ahead and hit I, grab this color, make a color for it, hit OK, and I'm going to put that inside of this group. So I made a swatch, I made a group by clicking on the folder, and then I named the group when it came up. So I'm going to grab this color, and I'm going to make a new swatch, hit OK. I'm going to grab that one and put it in the group folder. Now I'm going to grab, I had another color. There are 3 colors. I'm just going to go with those for now. All right. So I'm going to hit OK. And I can make different tints of these as well. But for now, I'm just going to hit OK. All right. So I want to make sure I got this color. Put that in a new swatch. Hit OK. Bring that down because that's a different color than that one. It should be a little lighter. Can't really tell, but it's supposed to be a little lighter. And then this color, I know I have because it's that color. And bring that down. And they're pretty much the same. As a matter of fact, I think that one is the same. Okay. And then I have 2 different oranges as well. One's a bright orange. I also have, remember this one, but I'm just going to let it go. All right, boom. Here we go. Because I should have been working that way from the jump. But the cool thing is this could have been a logo by itself, but this is going to be a part of iCase. This could have been something interesting by itself. It's just an accent. And now I have this logo. So what I'm going to do, go into my symbols panel. I don't need any of these other symbols, so I'm going to actually get rid of them by shift clicking and hitting the trash can, and I'm going to hit yes. Now what I'm going to do is add a symbol. So I'm going to add this cell phone case, and I'm going to say case logo. It's a movie clip. It's okay. I already told you guys that that's for if we wanted to animate it, we could, but for now it's going to go with the way it is. iCase, which is our type logo. Okay. Our bar. So I'm just going to call it a bar. And since it all has to do with logo, I'm calling it bar logo. Yeah. Okay. It's just telling me that now it can't be a blend. What it's doing or what it has done is, notice when I hover over it now, we don't have the blend, so it expanded the blend. And typically, if you have a blend, like here, you'll go up to Object, and you'll go down to Expand, and then you're expanding it, making it as one. So that means that you're no longer a blend. So I'll just do that for now. It is something to teach you. It's kind of cool. So if I click on it, I hit Expand, I can tell it to expand the object and to expand the fill, or to expand one or the other. When I hit OK, you'll notice now these are individual components. It is no longer a blend. So it's kind of cool. All right, so I'm going to click on my text. I'm going to call it slogan logo. Okay. And lastly, I'm going to click on our little accent, call it accent logo. Okay, so now I have all of these as symbols, right? I'm going to save real quick. And I'm going to save it to, for now, I'm going to save it to my desktop. Hit OK. All right, so I have this logo set. So now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to move this over. And I'm going to get rid of the guides because I only needed them for, I only needed them to help me with the logo and help me set it up. So I'm going to hit delete because I'm deleting the guides. And now I have my logo and it's set.